of Treasures, the Second 1,000 Years, Book 2. This is Jared all the way to the flood. Jubal and Tubal-Cain, the two brethren, the sons of Lamech, the blind man who killed Cain, invented and made all kinds of instruments of music. Jubal made reed instruments, and harps, and flutes, and whistles, and the devils went and dwelt inside them. When men blew into these pipes, the devils sang inside them, and sent out sounds from inside them. Tubal-Cain made cymbals, and sistra, and tambourines, or drums, and lasciviousness and fornication increased among the children of Cain, and they had nothing to occupy them except fornication. Now they had no obligation to pay tribute, and they had neither prince nor governor, and eating and drinking, and lasciviousness, and drunkenness, and dancing, and singing to instruments of music, and the wanton sportings of the devil, and the laughter which affordeth pleasure to the devils, and the sounds of the furious lust of men neighing after women. And Satan, finding his opportunity in this work of error, rejoiced greatly, because thereby he could compel the sons of Seth to come down from that holy mountain. There they had been made to occupy the place of that army of angels that fell with Satan. There they were beloved by God. There they were held in honor by the angels, and were called, quote, sons of God. Even as the blessed David saith in the psalm, quote, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you sons of the Most High. Close quote. Meanwhile, fornication reigned among the daughters of Cain, and without shame several women would run after one man, and one man would attack another, and they committed fornication in the presence of each other shamelessly. For all the devils were gathered together in that camp of Cain, and unclean spirits entered into the women and took possession of them. The old women were more lascivious than the maidens. Fathers and sons defiled themselves with their mothers and sisters. Sons respected not even their own fathers, and fathers made no distinction between their sons and other men. And Satan had been made ruler or prince of that camp. And when the men and women were stirred up to lascivious frenzy by the devilish playing of the reeds which emitted musical sounds, and by the harps which the men played through the operation of the power of the devils, and by the sounds of the tambourines and of the sistra which were beaten and rattled through the agency of evil spirits, the sounds of their laughter were heard in the air above them, and ascended to that holy mountain. And when the children of Seth heard the noise and uproar and shouts of laughter in the camp of the children of Cain, about 100 of them who are mighty men of war gathered together, and set their faces to go down to the camp of the children of Cain. When Jared heard their words and knew their intention, he became sorely afflicted, and he sent and called them to him, and said unto them, quote, By the holy blood of Abel, I will have you swear that none of you shall go down from this holy mountain. Remember ye the oaths which our fathers Seth, and Enos, and Canaan, and Mahalalel made you to swear. Close quote. And Enoch also said unto them, quote, Hearken, O ye children of Seth, no man who shall transgress the commandment of Jared, and break the oaths of our fathers, and go down from this mountain, shall never again ascend it. Close quote. But the children of Seth would neither hearken to the commandment of Jared, nor to the words of Enoch, and they dared to transgress the commandment, and those 100 men, who were mighty men of war, went down to the camp of Cain. And when they saw that the daughters of Cain were beautiful in form, and that they were naked and unashamed, the children of Seth became inflamed with the fire of lust. And when the daughters of Cain saw the goodliness of the children of Seth, they gripped them like ravening beasts, and defiled their bodies. And the children of Seth slew their souls by fornication with the daughters of Cain. And when the children of Seth wished to go up again to that holy mountain, after they had come down and fallen, the stones of that holy mountain became fire in their sight. And having defiled their souls with the fire of fornication, God did not permit them to ascend to that holy place. And moreover, very many others made bold and went down after them, and they too fell. Satan appeared in the form of one Gunnan, and taught him to make horns and trumpets, stringed instruments, cymbals, psalteries, lyres, harps, and flutes. Into these Satan himself entered, and made the music which came from them. Gunnan made corn spirit, and established drinking booths in which men assembled and drank and ate fruit. Then Satan taught Ganun to make weapons of war out of iron, and when men were drunk they killed each other with them. Next, Satan taught men how to dye their garments crimson and purple, and they arrayed themselves in gaudy attire, and began to race their horses. Little by little the children of Seth began to wish to join the sons of Cain, and when the devils had shown them a way down the mountain, 100 of them went down to the plain, and were led astray by the women whose hands and feet were stained with bright colors, and whose faces had tattoo marks on them. When the Sethites tried to return to the top of the mountain, the stones turned into coals of fire, and they could not pass over them. Company after company of the children of Seth went down to the plain, and at length only Jared and a few others remained on the mountain. The leaders of those who went down from Ardis on Mount Hermon were Semyaza, the commander-in-chief, Yurikabarami, Koboal, Tamil, Ramuel, Danel, Zakilo, Zerakuyal, Asael, Armaros, Batral, Anani, Zakebe, Sansawael, Satarel, Terel, Yomyael, and Azazel. Each of these was over a company of 10. The names of the two of the decarchs of the 200 angels are omitted. These angels took to themselves wives, and taught them to use of spells and enchantments, and the use of plants and trees. The daughters of Cain conceived, and a tradition in the children were so large that they could not be born in the ordinary way, but had to be removed from their mothers by the umbilicus. These children grew up and became giants 3,000 cubits in height, and when they had devoured all the provisions which their neighbors had collected, they began to fight against men and to eat them, and at length they ate the flesh and drank the blood of each other. Concerning these giants, the book of Enoch says, quote, "Now the giants who were produced from the spirits in the flesh shall be called evil spirits on earth, and their habitation shall be on the earth. Evil spirits shall proceed from their bodies, and the spirits of the giants shall consume, and persecute, and lay waste, and fight and work destruction on the earth, and afflict men. They shall neither eat food of any kind, nor suffer thirst, and they shall remain invisible. And these spirits shall attack the children of men and women, for from them have they come forth. The wickedness of these giants became so great that the earth complained to God. At this time, Azazel taught men the art of working in metals and the use of stibium, or eye paint, and the art of dyeing stuffs in bright colors. Amazarach taught enchantments, also known as magic, and the knowledge of herbs. Armaros taught how spells were to be broken. Barakal taught astrology. Kokabel taught the knowledge of signs. Tamel taught astronomy, and Azrajel taught concerning the moon. And when Jared had lived 960 years, and the day of his departure approached, and came nigh, and arrived, all the patriarchs gathered themselves together, and came unto him. Enoch his firstborn, and Methuselah, and Lamech, and Noah, they and their wives and their children, and were blessed by him. And he prayed over them, and said unto them, quote, I will make you to swear by the holy blood of Abel that you will not go down from this holy mountain. For I know that God will not allow you to remain very much longer in this holy country. Inasmuch ye have transgressed the commandment of your fathers, ye shall surely be cast out into that outer country, and ye shall no longer have your habitation on the skirts of the mountain of paradise. And take ye good heed to this. Let him that is among you who shall go forth from the holy country take with him the body of our father Adam, and the offerings of gold, frankincense, and myrrh that are in the cave of treasures, and let him carry away and deposit the body in the place wherein he shall be commanded by God to set it down. And thou, my son Enoch, depart thou not from before the body of Adam, but minister before God purely and holily all the days of thy life. And Jared died, being 962 years old, on the 13th day of the month Iyar, which is May, on the day of the eve of the Sabbath, Friday, at sunset, in the 366th year of the life of Noah. And Enoch his son embalmed him, and buried him in the cave of treasures, and they had made mourning for him 40 days. And Enoch stood up to minister before God in the cave of treasures. And the children of Seth turned aside from the right path and willed to go down to the children of Cain on the plain. And Enoch and Methuselah and Lamech and Noah mourned over them. And Enoch had ministered before God for 50 years in the 365th year of the life of Noah. And when Enoch knew that God was about to remove him from the earth, he called Methuselah and Lamech and Noah and said unto them, quote, I know that God is wroth with this generation, and that a pitiless judgment hath been decreed for the people thereof. Ye are the chiefs of this generation and the remnant thereof, for no other man shall be born on this mountain who shall be the chief of the children of his people. But take ye good heed to yourselves, and see that ye minister before God in purity and holiness. And when Enoch had given them his commandment in these words, God removed him to the land of life, and to the delectable mansions which are round about paradise, and to that country which is beyond the reach of death. And of all the children of Seth there remained only 3 patriarchs in the mountain of the triumphant ones, Methuselah, Lamech, and Noah, for all the others had betaken themselves to the encampment of the sons of Cain. Then Michael, Gabriel, Suriel, and Uriel looked down from heaven and saw the wickedness which Azazel had done in the world, and they heard the appeal which the souls of the dead were making to heaven, and they reported the matter to the Most High. When God heard their words, he sent the angel Arsayalalar to the son of Lamech, Noah, with the command, quote, Hide thyself. No mention is made of Methuselah, who begot Lamech when he was 187 years old, and who lived 969 years, and Lamech, who lived 777 years, and begot Noah in the 182nd year of his age, was passed over in favor of his son. Noah consolidated his position by marrying the daughter of Enoch. The angel revealed to Noah that a flood was about to cover the earth, and told him how to escape it. Then God commanded Raphael to bind Azazel hand and foot, and to thrust him into a dark hole in the desert of Dudadel, and heap stones and rocks upon him. There he was to remain until the day of judgment, when he would be cast into the fire and consumed. Gabriel was sent to destroy all the children of fornication, and Michael was sent to bind Semyaza and the other decarchs of the children of Seth, and to imprison them under the mountains of the earth for 70 generations, after which time they were to be taken to the abyss of fire and tortured there forever. The rule of Noah. And when Noah saw that sin had increased in his generation, he preserved himself in virginity for 500 years. Then God spake unto him and said unto him, quote, Take unto thee to wife Hykle, the daughter of Namus, or Hykelnamus, the daughter of Enoch, the brother of Methuselah. And God revealed unto him concerning the flood which he was making ready to produce. And he spake to him and said unto him, quote, 130 years from this moment I will make a flood. The building of the ark. And God said unto Noah, quote, Make for thyself an ark for the saving of the children of the house, and built it in the plain below the mountain, in the encampment of the children of Cain. And ye shall cut down the timber for the same from the trees that are on this mountain, and thus shall be the dimensions thereof. Its length shall be 300 cubits according to thy cubit, its breadth shall be 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits, and above it shall be finished off 1 cubit. And make 3 stories in it. The lowermost shall be for wild animals and cattle, the middle one shall be for the birds and feathered fowl, and the topmost shall be for thee and the children of thy house. And make it in cisterns for water, and cupboards for food. And make it thyself a striking board of Eshkar, a wood which will not rot, 3 cubits long, and 1.5 cubits in breadth. And there shall be a hammer of the same kind of wood, and with it thou shalt strike the board 3 times in the day, once in the morning, that the workmen may be gathered together for the work of the ark, and once at midday, that they may eat food, and once at sunset, so that they may cease from their labor. And when thou strikest the board, and men hear the sound of the blows, and say unto thee, quote, What is this that thou doest? Thou shalt say unto them, God is going to make a flood of waters. And Noah did as God commanded him. And there were born unto him 3 sons within the space of 100 years, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and they took unto them wives of the daughters of Methuselah. The death of Lamech. And when Lamech had lived 770 years, he died during the lifetime of Methuselah his father, 40 years before the flood, on the 21st day of the month of Elul, which is September, on the first day of the week, Sunday, in the 68th year of the life of Shem, the firstborn of Noah. And Noah his firstborn embalmed him, and Methuselah his father swathed him for burial, and they buried him in the cave of treasures, and mourned for him 40 days. The rule of Methuselah and Noah. And Methuselah and Noah remained alone on the mountain, for all the children of Seth had gone down from the skirts of the mountain of paradise to the plain where the children of Cain lived. And men, the children of Seth, had intercourse with the daughters of Cain, who conceived of them, and brought forth men, giants, and the sons of giants, who were like unto towers. Now, because of this, certain ancient writers have fallen into terror, and have written, quote, "The angels came down from heaven and had intercourse with the men, and by them these famous giants have been produced." But this is not true, for those who have written in this matter did not understand the facts. Behold, O my brother readers, and know ye that it is not in the nature of beings of the Spirit to beget, neither is it in the nature of the devils, who are unclean beings and workers of wickedness, and lovers of adultery, to beget, because there are neither males nor females among them. And since the time when the angels fell, nor another angel has been added to their number. The death of Methuselah. And when Methuselah had lived 969 years, and the days of his departure had drawn nigh, Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth and their wives came unto him. Now of all the posterity of Seth who had not betaken themselves down to the plain, only these 8 souls were left: Noah, Shem, Ham, Japheth, and their wives, for no children were born to them before the flood. And when these gathered themselves together to Methuselah, and they had been blessed by him, he embraced them and kissed them sorrowfully, and wept over the fall of the children of Seth. And he said unto them, quote, "Of all the tribes and families of your fathers, this remnant consisting of 8 souls alone is left. May the Lord God of our fathers bless you, the Lord God who formed our father Adam and Eve by themselves, and they were fruitful and multiplied, and the whole of the blessed land which was round about paradise was filled with their progeny, shall make you to be fruitful and to multiply, and the whole earth shall be filled with you. He shall save you from the terrible wrath which hath been decreed against this rebellious generation, and he shall be with you, and he shall protect you. And the gift which was given by God unto our father Adam shall go forth with you from this holy country. And these 3 measures of the wheat of blessings, which God gave unto your father Adam, shall serve as leaven, and shall be kneaded into your seed, and into the seed of your children, that is to say, royalty, priesthood, and prophecy. Hearken thou, Noah, thou blessed of the Lord. Behold, I am going forth from this world, like all my fathers, but thou and thy children shall be saved. And thou shalt do everything which I am commanding you to do to this day, for God will make the flood. When I die, embalm my body, and bury me in the cave of treasures with my fathers. Take thy wife and thy sons, and the wives of thy sons, and get thee down from this holy mountain. And take with thee the body of our father Adam, and these 3 offerings, gold and myrrh and frankincense. Set the body of the Adam in the middle of the ark, and lay these offerings upon him. Thou and thy sons shall occupy the eastern part of the ark, and thy wife and thy sons' wives shall occupy the western part thereof. Thy wives shall not pass over to you, and ye shall not pass over to them. Ye shall neither eat nor drink with them, and ye shall have no intercourse whatsoever with them, until ye go forth from the ark. Now this generation hath provoked God to wrath, and he will neither permit them to be neighbors of those who are in paradise, nor to praise him with the angels. And when the waters of the flood have subsided from the face of the earth, And ye go forth from the ark, and ye take up your abode in that land. Thou, O Noah, the blessed of the Lord, shall not depart from the ark, from the body of our father Adam, but minister thou before God in the ark purely and holily all the days of thy life. And these offerings shall be placed in the east. And command thou Shem, thy firstborn, to take up with him, after thy death, the body of our father Adam, and to carry it and deposit it in the middle of the earth. And let him establish there a man from among his descendants, who shall minister there, and he shall be one who is set apart all the days of his life. He shall not take a wife, he shall not shed blood, he shall not offer up these offerings of wild animals and feathered fowl, but he shall offer up unto God bread and wine, for by these redemption shall be made for Adam and all his posterity. And the angel of God shall go before him, and he shall show him the place where the middle of the earth is situated, and the apparel of him that shall stand up there to minister before the body of Adam shall be the skins of wild animals. He shall not shave off the hair of his heads, and he shall not cut his nails, but he shall remain alone, because he is the priest of God, the Most High. And when Methuselah had commanded Noah to do all these things, he died with tears in his eyes and sorrow in his heart. He was 969 years old when he died, on the 14th day of the month Adar, which is March, on the first day of the week, Sunday, in the 79th year of the life of Shem, the son of Noah. And Noah his grandson embalmed the body of Methuselah with myrrh and cassia and skakti. And Noah and his sons buried him in the cave of treasures, and they and their wives made mourning for him 40 days. And when the days of his mourning had passed, Noah went into the cave of treasures, and embraced and kissed the holy bodies of Seth, and Enos, and Canaan, and Mahalalel, and Jared, and Methuselah, and Lamech his father. And he was greatly moved, and tears gushed from his eyes. And Noah carried the body of our father Adam, and the body of Eve, and his firstborn Shem carried the gold, and Ham carried the myrrh, and Japheth the frankincense, and they went forth from the cave of treasures. And as they were coming down from that holy mountain, they were smitten sorely with grief, and they wept in agony, because they were to be deprived of that holy place, and the habitation of their fathers, and weeping painfully, and wailing sorrowfully, and enveloped in gloom, they said, Remain in peace, O holy paradise, thou habitation of our father Adam. He went forth from thee alive, but stripped of glory and naked, and behold, at his death he was deprived of thy nearness. He and his progeny were cast out into exile in the land of curses, to pass their days there in pain, in sickness, and in labor, and in weariness, and in trouble. Remain in peace, O cave of treasures. Remain in peace, O habitation and inheritance of our fathers. Remain ye in peace, O fathers and patriarchs. Pray ye for us, O ye who live in the dust, ye friends and beloved ones of the living God. Pray ye for the remnant of your posterity which is left. O ye who have propitiated God, make supplication unto him on our behalf in your prayers. Remain in peace, O Enos. Remain ye in peace, O ye ministers of God. Canaan and Mahalalel and Jared and Methuselah and Lamech and Enoch, cry out in sorrow on our behalf. Remain in peace, O haven and asylum of the angels. O ye our fathers, cry out in sorrow on our behalf, because you will be deprived of our society. And we will cry out in sorrow, because we are cast out into a bare land, for our habitation will be with the wild beast. And as they were coming down from that holy mountain, they kissed the stones thereof, and embraced the delectable trees thereof. And in this wise they came down, and they wept with great sorrow, and shed scalding tears, and suffering sorely they descended to the plain. And Noah went into the ark, and deposited the body of Adam in the middle thereof, and he placed these offerings upon it. Now in the year wherein Noah went into the ark, the 2,000 years of the posterity of Adam, to the time of the flood, came to an end.